Welcome to
Chart.
another episode of the Bamature Hour. I'm Bama John. In this episode, we will review the Bama win over LSU 20-9 in more detail in our Upon Further Review episode. We're also going to do Upon Further Review of Bama's big win over St. John's in hoops. Today is Monday, November 10th, 2025, in the year of our Lord. Thank you for tuning in. We now have over 6,000 subscribers, guys. Woo! Over 6,000, heading to 10. Keep all you that are viewing, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the notify button on our YouTube channel. If you're accessing us on the various other podcast outlets with the audio, please like, follow, subscribe. We appreciate all of you turning in. Today, I'm joined by T-Pain and G-Money. Guys, what a great day in sports on Saturday. Two big victories. I'm not sure which one was bigger. I guess it was bigger to win over LSU because that gets us on to another step into the playoffs. But, man, what a great win. And it's funny. UNC gets a big win Friday night, and everybody, all the media out there was talking about, and this isn't a UNC podcast. I'm just telling you, everybody was underselling Carolina, not thinking they could beat Kansas. Kansas had this great freshman, and our great freshman who looks like an athletic version of Brandon Miller's taking the ball to the hoop. He's pulling up mid-range jumpers, hitting from three, slamming, dunking, blocking shots. And then Alabama rolls out those guards, and they're getting it done. And, guys, that was an ugly win Saturday night. It was a great defensive performance, which we'll talk about that. But what a great day in sports that was. Big victories. One step closer to the playoff, guys. We get this win on Saturday. We got it locked up. We got to beat Oklahoma. All right, guys, jump in here. Give me your takes.
Yeah.
T-Pain.
I was just going to say, you had to work in the Tar Heels somehow. You may have your Alabama jersey, or shirt and hat, but you got those blue underwear or something, socks.
Yeah, there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing good to talk about with North Carolina, but you'll find something to say, won't you?
Hey, Belichick's on a winning streak. He's won 2 games in a row, guys. Come on.
They're probably going to keep him.
The defense is actually starting to come together. So, we've gone from terrible to mediocre. I mean,
You're
that's
talking
what you
about
expect.
big things. I'll tell you what was not big, and that was the screen that I had to watch these games on.
Oh, gosh.
This is it right here. I was at a work thing, as y'all know, in Cleveland, and it was killing me. I watched them, but not on the big screen. Let's put it that way.
Man.
Yeah, that's tough for sure. I was having to watch some. I was at the tailgate Saturday afternoon and watching a little bit on the phone doing that. So I feel for you. All right, jump in there, guys. Give me some feedback.
I had one of my children in town this weekend, so that was great. He's from Texas, and so that was fun. We watched the game together at 11 o'clock and saw the Tide take down St. John. That was awesome, St. John's. And yes, later on went to the game, and hey, we won. It was ugly, but we won. I'm hopeful that maybe Ryan Grubb is holding things back for later. That's my hope. But I met Dave Roberts from the Dodgers. Pretty cool. He was walking by me in the concession stand, and he didn't recognize me.
What brought him here? Why was he here?
He's a friend of DeBoer's. He's close to DeBoer.
DeBoer.
Yeah, DeBoer.
He wants to learn how to win.
That's right. But what's crazy is a week ago, I was watching him play on TV, watching him win the World Series, and then the next Saturday night, met him. That was crazy. But super nice guy.
Did you touch his shirt and now you're not going to wash your hand anymore?
That's right. But yeah, he didn't recognize me from the podcast. I was surprised, but whatever.
Did you spread the news? Tell them to get all those Dodger fans to join into some good football talk, since out in LA they're struggling.
That's true. I should have. USC and UCLA.
Yeah.
Good point. But I'm wearing my Letterman jacket tonight, guys, that I earned by paying for it.
You paid in more ways than one, right?
That's right.
So come on, T-Pain, give me some initial thoughts on that game Saturday night. What was it like in the stadium? What was your takeaways?
So the Tennessee game, I got sick and couldn't go. So that looked like a fun game to be at. The LSU game, it was good atmosphere at first. A night game against LSU, who I don't like a lot, and atmosphere started off pretty good, but man, our offense just looked anemic, and so not much to cheer for. So, and then LSU wasn't doing much either, so it was just kind of like, just kind of treading water until we finally scored in the second quarter. Uh, Looked pretty good there, and then I met Dave Roberts. Did I tell y'all that?
Well, and let's zoom the lens out a little bit for a second. That we scored 20 points against a team that's lost now 4 of their last 5 games, and teams where Ole Miss scored more than us, Vandy scored more than us, A&M scored a lot more than us
More
against
than
this
us.
team. And you could say the coach being fired and all that, and those are legitimate things, but it just we'll take a win. Bama John, you're always the one to drive that home, especially
Amen.
if it's just tough, but
Amen.
not our best.
Guys,
Yeah,
I will say LSU's defense is good. I really and I thought Perkins was sitting out. I guess I bought that hook, line, and sinker that I found that he was sitting out. He played. He was impactful. It was a good test for our offense against a good defense. We're going to get that again this Saturday. It wasn't pretty though.
but when we did our predictions last week, I was feeling all good about us. I thought, man, 45-17. Man, I mean, that was not a good performance from the offense at all.
Well, you were optimistic. I think we all were in terms of the outcome, but I think we had a consensus on 2 things during the preview episode. We wouldn't rush for over 100 yards, and neither would they, and that part came true.
We didn't get close, did we?
No. No.
So I heard a theory that sounds like wishful thinking to me, but I heard Martin Houston on the radio say that he is hoping, he and his son were talking about it, and they said, have you noticed that when we run a sweep to the right or to the left, we usually have positive gain, like 3 to 5 yards. I mean, I really haven't noticed this, but they said this is something they've noticed. So if we run wide, we usually get yards. Up the middle, we get like 1 or none or maybe 2, and we typically run up the middle. Most of the run plays are like right there in the A gap or B gap. And so Martin is giving Ryan Grubb, I think, way too much credit. He said something like, I think he knows he can get yards out wide, but he's really trying to establish the run here in the middle as we go into the last part of the season. And also it feeds into play action pretty well. I don't know. I'm just thinking, man, if you know you can get 5 yards out wide, go get it. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that or not, but it also felt like Ryan was experimenting because he knew their offense couldn't score. And I just think I'm hopeful that Ryan's a smart guy and that he knows how to score when we have to. This weekend, we're going to have to.
Yeah, and I'll say the out wide takes the O line out of it too.
Yeah.
I don't know if Martin mentioned that.
Yeah. He did say, and maybe it was the noon show with Christian Miller. One of them said, when do you start thinking about changing the offensive line coach? Because for 2 years, man, they're not doing much.
That's rough. So, first drive of the game, we're moving the ball down the field, and we get it to what, 2nd and 3? We run 3 straight running plays up the middle, no play action, and they were loading the line of scrimmage. They had 7 and 8 guys in the box, and I'm thinking, at least run play action on one of these, or a bootleg, or something, or we really got to get a push. On 4th and 1, we can't even make 4th and 1, and I'm just like, God. Because we were moving the ball, and then we get into 2nd and short, and I'm like, that's pathetic. That's pathetic. So
one time we did the quick snap. Remember Ty did the quick snap?
Yeah.
And then another time they did a direct snap to Jan Miller. That didn't work either. I think he's trying different things, but he tried an I formation one time that kind of was a dud. I don't get it, guys, because these guys they were probably highly recruited, each of them. They're all probably 4 or 5-star linemen, and they're big and strong, but I mean, it's weird how every week, like this game, I heard some guys around me saying, man, we're really stopping their run. I said, maybe, but they're going to gash us one time. We always get gashed. We get gashed. my question is, why can't we just luckily just happenstance, just happen on a 40-yard run? We can't do it. We just cannot get a gash. I don't get it, man. It's crazy.
Well, Jam, if he gets to the second level, does not have breakaway speed.
No.
So there's a problem with that. I
When's the
don't
last
think
time he's been to the second level?
he's had some, but in a running play, it's been a while. He seems to
Yeah.
get there more on the pass plays. But
Yeah.
and then Daniel Hill, I think, is a good runner, but again, he doesn't have breakaway speed, so we don't. And apparently, our burners aren't good enough in catching passes and pass protection to put him out there. So I'm just
Where's Riley? Where's Riley?
He must have fallen out of favor on. I'm guessing it's pass pro, that because he's not doing a good job in pass protection is why Hill and Jam are getting the majority of the snaps. But I mean, we don't have a breakaway runner, whereas LSU did have guys that could really turn the burners on. Now, I will have to say, I've dogged Kane a lot. They played. They bailed us out. They did a. It was bend but don't break, but it's amazing how when they get inside our 40, we held them to 4 field goal attempts. They missed one. Now that was a chip shot, but and only made 3 field goals. And hats off. And then we seem to get them to jump off sides, or we get a sack, or when they get in the red zone, we get a turnover. Something seems to happen. So I like our red zone defense. I like our ability to bog teams down. Now we don't do real well at getting teams to go 3 and out. They seem to go 5, 6, 7 plays, get a couple of first downs, and then something happens. But I mean, okay, Kane, hats off. You other than the second quarter, we had this offensive explosion in the second quarter. We put up 14 points, and then it's like the rest of the game. I don't know. What were we doing?
Oh, well, welcome, John. We've been waiting for you. I've been there for about three games now. Let's give and you're doing it. The defense and Kane get a lot of credit. Now he's got some pieces to work with. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But if you compare Saturday night, and I hate to say the FSU game because that was kind of an outlier, but it's just, stats don't lie. And we're playing quality against quality offenses week in, week out the last 5 weeks now. And we're doing enough to do that part of winning the games. Their yards per carry were what, 2.2 in terms of rushing?
Yeah, they had 50 something yards for the game. It was, I can give you the exact number here in a second, but
they look like
it was
Leonard
pedestrian. Yeah, they had 56 yards rushing, or no, 59. It was pedestrian. Held them to 2.3 yards per carry. So, and they were 5 for 14 on third down. Hats off on our third down. And we didn't give up the big chunk plays that we have. They moved the ball. They got it into the red zone area, but they didn't get any touchdowns. We got some turnover, and we left 2 turnovers on the field. I mean, we should have had at least one more interception. And that fumble. God, that fumble that was just like the ball was all over the place. I was thinking of Chris Berman going rumbling, stumbling, and then they get the ball. It's like, that was rough. But I mean, yeah, hats off to the defense. Once we got a lead, they protected it. And sometimes I wonder, if we get a lead in a game, does Grubb dial it back? And does he wait till like we're behind, or, it gets close? I just,
it seems like it. It seems like when he has to score, he makes it happen. It's really weird. Like, the first game, of course, we'll discount that one, Florida State. But then the next 6 games or so, I feel like that 4-game stretch, we look really good. And then I feel like the offense has digressed some, don't y'all, the last 2 weeks?
I'm wondering if it's what you're saying, though, Rick. I'm wondering if he's holding some back. I mean, I think we've had enough games. I think it may be a combination where he may be holding a little bit back, and you have defenses that have made adjustments to our style of playing, our play calling.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make us one-dimensional.
Right.
And in that regard, they're doing a good job. But it doesn't matter because, like we've said, we have the quasi-rushing with the shallow crosses and the flares and those kind of plays. So,
but you know what, y'all, Ty Simpson as we all said, is great. And the amazing thing about Ty too is that we only average like 60 yards a game rushing, and he's still, I mean, that's hard on a quarterback, man. He's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 a lot, you know, and he still finds ways to get us in the end zone. So can you imagine if we had a running game that would give us like 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4? I mean, oh my gosh, but we don't. I mean, it's just, I think Ty is awesome, very good, but man, if we could help him with a run game, I think he would be even better.
Yeah, and you got to put, like you were saying, you got to put a chunk of that responsibility and blame, to the extent you want to use that word, on our offensive line. That being said, if you look at our stable of running backs, they've been disappointing. And James had some injury issues, and like you were saying, John, there are a couple of guys, Kevin Riley, not playing complete back play with pass pro. But overall, you know, do we have it? In other words, if you had to allocate how much of the responsibility and the failure to run the ball would you put on the running back group versus and mixed play calling in there somewhere, but versus offensive line, I would say it's about 60% offensive line, maybe 40%. The fact that we don't, I mean, you look at the backs that we've faced, Georgia, Missouri. I mean, we have faced some backs that if you put some of those, like Ahmad, you put him on our team, even with the offensive line not playing well. John made a point a couple of episodes ago about vision of not seeing holes. You saw that again, LSU. I saw a couple of overhead shots where there were decent sized holes that it's just like our backs don't have the vision.
I agree with you on that. And think about this guy. Ty's numbers were good. 21 of 35, 277 yards, 1 touchdown pass. He led us on 2 scoring drives. And Daniel Hill, hey, he scored a rushing touchdown. Yay. So he had good numbers, but nothing else was good. And then Ty left plays on the field. That drive where he threw the ball, he underthrew Brooks. If he hits Brooks in stride, touchdown. They go deep again to Germ. Then he barely overthrows Germ again, touchdown. So you could have easily gotten that, and then Talty missed a field goal that he should have made. So I mean, that's 10 more points I think we should have had on the board. We should have gotten 30, and then we would have looked a lot better on our predictions. So Ty was off. There was something, and even some of the flare passes and some of the passes he threw, I didn't feel like he hit guys in stride like he normally does. And I don't know, was he sick? Was he just, sometimes you just don't have it. That looked
I
like
agree,
a game where he didn't
but
have it.
I think he just live, at least live, John. He looked a little rushed. I mean, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe he really wasn't rushed, but I think he felt rushed. He seemed like he was just not quite as patient, and it's probably because he's getting hit a lot and having to run. But that's why I think if we can get, you know, 3rd and short more often instead of 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, where he knows he's about to get hit, I think he would be a little more settled. But hey, to your point earlier, Gary, I'm hopeful that yes, this is what's going on. I'm hopeful this weekend Ryan is going to take this as a huge challenge because a great defense is coming to town, and Ryan's going to be like, "Okay, guys, for 2 weeks I've kind of played around with everybody, but this weekend I'm going to give you my A game play calling, and y'all about to see." I'm hopeful that we can do that this weekend. So we'll see. I know we don't want to get too much in Oklahoma yet, but I just think if we come out this weekend and struggle offensively, y'all, we're setting ourselves up for some trouble.
I agree. I saw a stat, I think it's right, that for passes that travel 30 yards in the air, that Ryan is 2 for 14. That feels about right. Now, Ryan had a huge drop on a post that should have been a touchdown. We could point to a couple of those misses, but I didn't get the sense, Rick, and you were there, I didn't get the sense that that was the problem. We didn't have a bunch of shot plays, but I didn't sense that was a problem. It just looked like he was off. Now, the skinny post where he hit Ryan for the touchdown, that was a great throw. That he trusted his throw. That was a great play by Ryan as well, but he knew who he was throwing to.
Yeah. Boy, Ryan took a shot on that too.
I thought
for hanging
yeah,
on.
I thought he's not getting up from that, John. I thought he was going to be concussed.
Woo!
He got up.
I know, but like you're saying, Rick, maybe that gives him
right.
If you drop it because you're scared you're going to get hit, and then you take a big lick like that, and it's a TD. Maybe this is a springboard.
Right,
guys. Did you think Brooks got interfered with on that shot play? I
Yes.
thought he did. I couldn't believe they didn't throw the flag.
Oh, if the guy had not been pushing, he would have come back and caught it for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
He looked like he hugged him. I mean, just before the ball got there. And I couldn't believe they didn't. And McElroy said that. Now, of course, he's a Bama homer, so people aren't going to give him credit. But I thought it was interference. I couldn't believe they didn't call that. That was, I don't know what was going
I
on
agree.
there. And Rick, you were going to say something else. Go ahead.
I forgot what it was, honestly. It's not a big deal, but it'll come back maybe.
Do you think this week with LSU, given the disarray in LSU, there was some Oklahoma prep going on in practice? And when we got a lead, we kind of dialed it back and just were thinking, all right, we got to be ready. Because that Oklahoma game, as you guys said, number one, that is going to be a great defensive test for our offense because they've got I think they have the best defense in the SEC. I think they've got one of the 5 best defenses in college, and Venables is a mastermind defensive coordinator.
And they have a bye week, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
So and they're in do or die, guys. For them, it's playoff elimination. We don't want to lose this game either because if we win this, I mean, we're gonna beat Eastern Illinois. There's no chance we're gonna leave that. So we can clinch our playoff spot, and if they lose, they're out. Because I don't think there's any way a 9-3. I think a 9-3 Texas could sneak in. I don't think. Well, if Texas ends up 8-4 and Oklahoma ends up 9-3, maybe they can sneak in. But it's do or die for them. So it's a big game, and I was just wondering, were we holding stuff back?
I think so.
Well, and like you said, I think it's going to be a chess match. And I think that chess match is primarily going to be Ryan versus Brent. It'll be very interesting to watch. I think Mateer's going to score. Of course, we all thought, it seems like we're always overshooting both our offensive prediction and our opponent's offensive prediction. So the takeaway from that is, man, our defense is looking really good. But I don't think, again, we'll talk about Oklahoma some other time, but I don't think it's going to be a super low scoring game. How about that?
But you know what, y'all, it hit me, and you guys have probably already observed this, but what hit me at the game, as I watched my score prediction go down in blazes in the first half. In the first half, I thought, oh gosh. So in the first quarter, John, what hit me was we are sometimes second quarter, we can be a pretty efficient offense. However, we don't score quick, pretty much ever. And so here's part of the problem. Ty Simpson loves the audible, right? So almost every time he goes to the line, we're snapping the ball with you'll hear people in the stands go, snap it, snap it. So we don't score quickly. So I was thinking, oh, we'll get several possessions and we'll score 45. Well, first of all, I didn't know we played so poorly, but second of all, we just don't score quickly usually. So I mean, we're a very slow scoring team. So I think my prediction when we get to that for this weekend will be different.
But Ty can run the 2-minute drill when he needs to.
I know, but we don't do it very often. We don't do it very often. We
haven't needed it at South Carolina. We needed it, and he did it right at Vanderbilt right before the end of the half there. In Missouri, he did it, and obviously against LSU, that was big to go in and punch that ball in right before the half. Because once we went in 17-3, I'm like, yeah, we're good.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's this way. It's the difference between on one end of the spectrum, efficient, and on the other end of the spectrum, explosive. We're not explosive. And
that's right.
So far we haven't needed to be, but we're incredibly efficient. Like this last weekend was not a great example of that necessarily, but over the arc of the season so far, we may be the most efficient offense in the country or close to.
Yeah. Guys, here's some wild things. And I was just looking at the stats. So total yards, we had 344. LSU had 232. But the time of possession, they had the ball 32 minutes, and we only had it 28, which is kind of wild. And they had a lot of empty red zone trips. We won the turnover battle, huge, and we won the penalty battle big time. 2 for 25. They had 10 penalties for 75 yards. It felt like every time they were down in the red zone, here comes a 5-yard delay game. Here comes a holding call. Here comes, something that just seemed to shoot them in the foot. And that was great because that means our defense was getting them flustered. But it's kind of wild that the stats went that way. And in this game, because we've usually been good on time of possession, but we lost that, yet still won the yardage battle. I don't know. It was just kind of a conundrum to me.
Yeah, when you point out the turnovers they had and the penalties, LSU played pretty sloppy. And so if they had just not had as many penalties and turnovers, it would have been maybe a tighter game and maybe a fourth quarter game kind of scary. But I know, ifs and buts were candy and nuts. It'd be Christmas all year long, right? But I think we're fortunate to get out of there 20-9 and it not be closer than that. But I don't know.
Hey, one prediction I made came true. Nussmeier, they yanked him out of the game. We were just all over him. And he was, other than those quick passes, when they were doing quick passes, he was doing okay. But man,
That backup guy scared me.
He got beat up. Nussmeier. Whew.
That backup
prediction was right.
in.
Remember I said he was going to be sore riding home?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
he was sore. That ego was sore, too, I'm sure. But, that kid, that backup, he threw a pass one time to a tight end. The tight end dropped it in the middle of the field. That I'm telling you, they were on the way to, I thought maybe score again. It scared me, man.
We survived. Survive in advance, baby. I mean, I'll take that this week. Beat Oklahoma by 1 point. I'll be happy with that. I'd like to beat them and show that we're playoff ready and that we're worthy of winning a natty, but I'll take the win any way we can get it. Couple of things that I thought. Oh, number one, defensively, I just wanted to point out a couple of defensive stats here that I loved. Just to give a shout out to the defense some more. Lawson had 9 tackles. Jefferson had 7. Nakai Hill-Green had 5 tackles and really seems to be making an impact now. Sab had 5 tackles. Bray Hubbard had 4 tackles and was instrumental in the game and should have had that pick. And how about Red Morgan?
I love him.
Yeah.
I love Red.
Love his physicality. Dijon Lee was good, although I'm glad they didn't throw that. He could have gotten a 15-yard penalty when he threw that, kind of slung that guy around out of bounds. I don't know how they didn't call that.
I know.
Overton and Pierre came up with sacks, and so shout out to the defense. They deserve it. There's a lot of noteworthy.
Speaking of defense, John, one thing I do like about this last stretch of games and going into the playoffs is the depth we're showing on defense. I mean, I kept seeing numbers out there. I'm like, who is that? And who is that? And I thought Noah Carter looked good, 24. He plays with an engine. And number 8, Justin Hill looks good. He just looks good. And then the usual guys you mentioned we look good, man. And question about depth. At the game, I couldn't tell, y'all. Were they rotating in offensive linemen as well again, or would they just go with 5 guys this time? Did y'all notice?
I can see very clearly on this screen.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure. John, do you notice they rotate offensive linemen in?
I didn't notice that much, but I know they did. I mean, I know that even though Wilkin got the majority of the snaps, I know that he didn't play the whole game, and Dewberry got hurt in that game. So I think he's out, which is kind of a bummer. So, depleted offensive line a little bit.
Pierre showed up again.
Pardon?
I'm sorry, Rick. I was saying, was Dewberry out the whole game?
No. He got injured in the game at some point, but I think he's out. Like, I don't think he's available for Oklahoma. I don't know how bad his injury is, but I read that today that he's probably not playing against Oklahoma. So that's kind of a
bummer. I think that the silver lining to Rousseau getting hurt is that Pierre has just come out, and so if the predictions are right, if Rousseau comes back, maybe playoffs, dude, that'd be a tandem, wouldn't it, on both sides?
Oh, yeah.
Janze looks to me better than Rousseau did when he was healthy.
Yes.
And I thought Michael Carroll was going to step up and take Wilkins' position, but apparently he's making a lot of mistakes and he's not there. So Wilkins getting the majority of the snaps there. So
surprises me. I mean,
yeah, I want whoever's playing better, and if that's the assessment, all right, guys, y'all want to grade them up. What about the offense? Grade on the offense.
I'd say B.
I give them a C.
I will give them a C- for quarter first quarter and the second half, I'll give them an A for the second quarter. And overall, I tend to say I'm in that C range overall. Did enough to win, which is good. Got the points when we needed to. But real quick, let me just run down these drives in the second half.
Wait, can I back up for one second?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got, you guys are tough graders. I get that. But if Ty's got 277 yards and a quarterback rating of 135, I don't think we can give the offense a C. That's just my 2 cents.
I give Ty a B plus at least. I think he stood out, but I just don't think the rest of the rushing game. You got what would you give our running game, an F?
D.
A D?
D.
Yeah.
A D. I thought Ty was great, but again, he was off. That was not his A level quarterbacking because of those missed throws. It just, but I mean, again, his stats were really good for him. Us sitting here saying he didn't have a good game, it's still like, well, stats look good. Other than, I guess he got that, fumbled that pass on that rush. But the second half drives, we had 5 drives in the second half. 6 plays punt, 6 plays fumble by Ty, 5 plays punt, 6 plays field goal. Yay, we got some points at the end of that. And then we ran out the clock on the last drive. But I mean, that's a very pedestrian, kind of like Georgia, where we didn't score in the second half. I couldn't believe we won that game when we didn't score. But again, the defense did what they needed to do to preserve the victory. But it was just like a very pedestrian second half. In the first quarter, I just got frustrated by the missed shot plays, by that, 2nd and 3, and we can't get 3 yards. It was just frustrating. So yeah, I guess I'm a hard grader, Gary.
Well, I mean, John, I think we're grading perfectly well. I mean, the second half, first drive, C. Second drive, C minus. Third drive, C. I mean, fourth drive, B plus. Okay, so
all right, guilty as charged, Gary. Tough grader. How about the defense?
We're gonna lose our Ty's my guy t-shirts if we're too rough on the O, you know what I'm saying?
oh yeah.
I'm not grading Ty harshly. I'm just saying he didn't play up to his Heisman standards. He played well enough for us to win. We don't win that game without him, but it wasn't his A. It wasn't like that last 10 minutes of the South Carolina game where
Oh, so true. But I think you made the bigger point, John. We're doing what we have to do. I wish it was cleaner. I wish we'd cover the spread. I wish, I wish a lot of things, but we can't miss the big picture. And the big picture is we won the game. And, the play calling is affected by the dominance of our defense too. I mean, yes, went 6 and out. Okay, well, are you going to start taking risks when we obviously have the game? You know what I mean? So anyway.
Yeah, when you're playing with the lead and you're playing in front, you don't have to take as many risks. There's no doubt. We don't have to go for it on 4th and 8 like we did at Missouri.
I forgot the grade you gave us second half of Georgia. That was an A result, right?
It was an A result. And again, I give us an A for winning. How about that?
There you go.
We got it done. We figured out how to do it. How about the defense, guys?
B plus.
I would say A minus. It would start with an A.
I'm with you, Gary. A minus. The defense really stepped up, and I thought they brought it. I heard somebody say Alabama doesn't have a bend but don't break defense. I think we do have a bend but don't break defense. He's like, they're an elite red zone defense. And I'm like, we're good.
What's the difference?
Yeah,
I think he was trying. I think he feels that the guy that was making this, I'll credit, it was Josh Pate. I was listening to him, and his wife is in Alabama. She was on the Alabama staff, so he's got deep Alabama connections. I think he felt like bend but don't break didn't give them enough love, and that they were better than a bend but don't break defense, that they're more elite than that. And I think that was his point. But I'm like, that's really what we are. We're a bend but don't break. But yes, we played well in the red zone. We needed to, holding them to field goals, no touchdowns. I love that. So I'm on the A minus grading of the defense. I was very happy with them. And I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, that how we can win a natty if they can play like that. Because I thought they set the edge better, I thought we didn't give up as many gash plays, chunk plays. LSU left some plays on the field, but maybe some of it was the defense. But I was as happy as I've been with the defense all year.
Well, and then when you're looking at our scoring defense standing and our, yards allowed and all that, you've got to remember the difficulty of our schedule. I mean, we've played Missouri is a good offensive team. Vanderbilt is a very good offensive team. It's not like we're not playing anybody. So that makes it, to me, even more impressive that we've been able to do what we've done.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I think the B+ I gave is probably a little hard because when I hear y'all talk and also think about the fact that our offense played so poorly in the second half, for our defense still to hold them to 9 points, that's really good.
Are you saying you're changing the grade?
You're
I think I'm
telling
gonna go
me
to the
that
A category. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
A baby, A.
Special teams grades.
A-.
the short field goal miss, I'm gonna have to go with a B+.
I'm with you, Gary. I wanted to give them an A, and I thought our punting was good. And I thought everything else was good. It's like, how can you miss that field goal? It was just like, come on. And that would have given us a little more breathing room. We'd have gotten closer to our score predictions. It's like, I don't trust him. That's
What
And that
point
would
of the
have covered
game-
the spread at 39.
What point of the game was that kick?
Don't remember. Sorry.
The reason I'm asking is because I don't remember it, and I'm wondering. I was going to concession for a while in the second quarter. Was that when it happened?
I don't
The
remember.
second or the third.
Okay, I just don't remember that.
Yeah. I could look the box score up.
If I had remembered that, I would have been with y'all. But I didn't remember it, so A-.
Hey,
All right,
the
guys.
worst concession stand trip ever. I was in. I was watching the Alabama. I was at Pasadena watching Alabama, Texas, 2009, and I missed the Marcel Darius taking
Oh,
it
you
boy
did?
because the concession line was so long. I was like,
Oh,
from that
man.
then on, I'm just like, not good.
Yeah.
All right, I have to tell one concession story. I went to see the Cowboys play the Falcons in '94, and this was the second year that the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. Emmett had like a 95-yard run for a touchdown against the Cowboys, and I had a friend, and he had a drinking problem. So he was at the concession stand, and he's a huge Cowboys fan, but he was at the concession stand most of the game getting more beer. And he missed this just incredible Emmett play that was the highlight of Sports Center. And we're like, dude, you missed it. You're a huge Cowboys fan. What are you doing? And Emmett, took it to the house, and it's like,
He's like,
Is that friend's name Richard Thomason by chance?
That's right.
No,
He's like,
it was not.
He's like, I'm a bigger Michelob fan than I am a Dallas fan. Is what he was thinking.
It was Bud Light, but yes, he was a huge Bud Light fan. It was just like, come on. All right. How about coaching grades?
Total coaching B-.
Are you inviting us to say our catchphrase?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll do a slow motion one. Slow motion.
That's right.
I would give them an overall B+ because I got to give our defense credit, and I think Kane did a really good job. I'd give him A-. I would give Ryan probably a B, maybe a B-. So that's all I arrive at.
I'm with you, Gary. I will say Kane gets an A-. I give him an A-. I give Ryan Grubb a B-. So I think overall in the I'm going to give it a B+, and I'll tell you why. We won the game.
Yeah.
So I'll give it to that. And who's the greatest coach in the world?
Bar.
Dubbar. Let's talk some hoops, guys. It was a great weekend of sports. It was a great weekend. MSG.
Nados.
Who is the greatest basketball coach in the world? The Oats.
We got to think of a different one for that.
I know.
Yeah, we do.
We don't get the da effect.
Nados.
That's
That
pretty though.
I mean, huge. We go up beat St. John's, that a lot of people had highly ranked, much higher than us. Go in there and beat Rick Pitino, coaching legend. And they play hard. They
Yeah.
play hard and beat them 103-96 in Madison Square Garden. What a great win.
How
We are,
good is our backcourt? Oh my goodness. I mean, come on.
we
We
are
got some
in for a
players,
fun
man.
ride this year, y'all. Fun ride.
Yes,
And
we
we got a
do.
5-star guard healing up who's not even playing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
And the other
long.
kid, what's the other kid? It starts with a K. He's hurt too. Let's see. I'll find his name.
Krzyzewski.
What'd you say?
Oh, Bristow.
Krzyzewski.
You're talking about
Oh,
Bristow.
yeah,
Bristow.
Bristow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, he's a
Yeah.
good.
Keaton Bristow.
Yeah, he can play wing. He can play power forward. He can move around. And I'm excited about him too. So we got 2 good chess pieces sitting on. So to have those 2 guys out, and how good did Reitzel look? I was so happy to see him out there contributing.
Man, he scared me though. He scared me when he went out. I thought, oh,
I heard it was a cramp. I heard he was cramping. Is what
okay,
that
good.
was. Is that was because I was like, did he hurt his ankle? What's going on? But I heard he was cramping. So
He
I was
looks
really
so
happy.
good, y'all. He looks so good.
That body control on that last layup, he just, oh man, yeah. I'm a
I
treasure.
mean, I love Mark Sears, but I think this backcourt is another level.
They're quicker. They're more athletic. They're longer. Did you guys notice how fluid the ball movement was throughout
Yes.
the game? We only had
Without-
7 turnovers. Only 7
Without going
turnovers.
to the other team. That was amazing.
I thought they really worked the ball, and I'd been worried about Holloway because of his ball stopping ability, but I thought he did a really good job of testing the defense, getting to the rim, pulling up, hitting a mid range, hit some threes, or he would test them, and if it wasn't there, he'd kick it and keep the ball moving. I thought they did a great job.
He's mature. That's what we talked about. If he would play a little less more erratically, and of course it's still early in the season, I get that. But I mean, he's going to be a weapon for us. I thought y'all were talking about Latrell, who he was my favorite player before he got hurt last year. Holloway may be our key down the stretch to winning some very, very close games. And of course, LeBaron. I mean, we can say so many things about him, but having Holloway on the court, man, it gives us a quickness factor and an ability to shoot inside and outside that, gosh, man, it's just nice to have him.
Yeah, and Phylon, he took a good mid-range jumper and made 1 or 2. I mean, like those, they have all the shots. It seems like those
Well,
guards.
they get nervous. I mean, that's the thing. Late in the game, Fallon made a late in the game mid-range because they're guarding you to take the layup, right?
Or to shoot the 3, right? Or
shoot the 3 because they know you're going to be in trouble or whatever if you miss a mid-range with Coach Oates. And I thought that was very smart. If you looked at his body movement, it was all going in, and then suddenly just pulled up. And our backcourt, man. I haven't seen a lot of the top teams play yet. I've just seen a little bit of highlights here and there. But I think as the dust settles over the next few weeks, we will be in the conversation for the top backcourt in the United States, bar none, especially
in backcourt, even down to the almost every position on the court. I mean, the 5 position for us is a little bit weak, right? I mean, especially when you start going to the bench, Noah Williamson and the Collins. I mean, he's just not very good. He's a big body, but I mean, as far as top to bottom, y'all, I mean, this is the most talented team we've had maybe ever as far as athletes.
But shooters too,
Sorry.
not just athletes, shooters. We've got guys that can. Rick, you all right, buddy? Okay, good. But athletes, we've got quickness, length, athleticism, and skill. We have good ball skills, shooting. Did y'all see Reitzel when he was out there running the clock down, all that dribbling he was doing?
Yes.
And he was frustrating those guards.
And I love after he scores, he's got this really distinctive look on his face. Y'all know the look I'm talking about? It's just like, I love when the camera kind of gets up. He just has that almost like dead eye look, like you can't stop me.
And you know what? I felt like last year we didn't really have, besides the guy that went to Kentucky. I won't say his name. I'm kidding. Yeah. But I felt like he hustled hard, but we didn't really have anybody that was like a dog. And what I mean by that is Reitzel, that Jackson kid from North Carolina, was talking trash to Reitzel. Reitzel going down the court. He's talking back to him. I love it. And then Amari Allen, these three freshman guys, they're good. And Amari Allen one time was getting pushed around. He's a freshman. He's out there pushing this big dude around from St. John's. I'm like, let's go, man. I mean, I like it.
It was strong. And how about Taylor Ball Bowen coming back after Nate Oates blasted him from the last game? And he came in and he showed out. And that's a tough front court. St. John's has got legit guys in the front court. Legit.
Yeah.
Yes,
That one kid what's his name? 34, the guy that had the most points for them.
Ejiofor?
Yeah. We just gave him every open shot he wanted at the free throw line. I'm like, dude, go guard him. It's
Well,
really
but here's the thing. This is the funny thing. Our guards outplayed them, and Tyler Ball Bowen had a great game. But Ejiofor and Hopkins, we couldn't stop them because it was either they were driving hard to the basket, they'd score over us, or they'd get fouled, or they'd pull up and hit shots. And those were contested shots. Those two dudes are good. They're really good players, and that's what kept them in the game. We outplayed them from the guard position. I thought, Cheryl got in foul trouble because Hopkins and Ejiofor kept driving at him, and Holloway fouled out, and they shot 40 free throws.
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, and we talked about resilience on the football team at South Carolina, at Missouri, and what you saw that late run we went on, that, man, if you look at the points they scored, you would think the old Alabama teams and almost any team in the country would lose that game. But we just have so many weapons. And John, I think you made a great point. Our ball movement, we look like an NBA team out there moving the ball, and our off-ball movement.
It was fluid. It was so fluid.
To echo what you said, Clark was here watching the game with me, who lives in Dallas, and he had just gone to a Mavericks game a few days before.
Ooh, rough watch.
No, he said, Dad, this team looks better as far as the way they're playing. I mean, he said, this is more fun to watch than it was the Mavericks game. And,
well, the Mavericks, I will say the Mavericks have injury. Kyrie Irving's out.
Right.
They're trying to play Cooper Flagg at the point guard. What are you doing? And they're guard light. So that's why I said it was a rough watch, because I know they are beat up. But it looks so fluid. And
hey, John, at the North Dakota State game, I saw Hannah one time go up for a rebound or something, and I said, that guy he's a leaper. And man, sure enough, he tried to do that guy. He tried to tomahawk that guy. He almost got
how
it.
was that not a foul? I thought he got fouled on that, and he got shoved to the floor, and it's just, I don't know. It was a rough game, and we beat him. We beat them. I loved it. And when they got that 1 point lead, they hit the 3 point, got the 1 point lead. I'm like, oh no. They're in the Madison Square Garden. Fans are going crazy. And then we put it to them. We took it from there and stretched it out to a 12-point lead. Another
point I have to make real quick is that I like Nate Oates that he doesn't call the automatic timeout when another team gets hot. It's almost, I think sometimes when you call the timeout, the crowd goes even nuts. They go crazier. And you know what? He just relied on the team to weather the storm. And I think you said Phylon hit a shot, and all of a sudden the crowd's kind of back down. I love that about Nate Oates as far as timeout management.
So think about this too. I mean, we've got the players, like you're saying, John, we got shooters galore. Have we ever looked this good? And I'm trying to remember. I don't think so. Have we ever looked this good this early?
No. Nope.
I mean, usually we're like.
What about the Brandon Miller team? Because Brandon Miller came in and he was lighting it up, and I'm thinking, God, that guy is so. But he bailed us out a lot. It seemed like Brandon Miller bailed us out a lot.
I'll tell you, if we get a good result Thursday night, I'm gonna put me in the, when Justin Bieber was young, they call them believers.
Believers.
Put me down as a believer.
Believer.
Hey, guys, if we beat Purdue here, we could be number one. We could be ranked number one after that game. I mean, you go to Madison Square Garden and beat everybody who's hyping up this Pitino team. I will say that apparently whoever's going to play point guard for them was out, and our guards dominated them. But if we beat Purdue here.
But we didn't have Bethea. It happens to everybody. We didn't have Bethea or Bristow.
Right.
So
that's a good point.
But how deep is our team? Golly, we're out of those two guys. How deep is our team?
And what's the little word, the move? Did y'all read that about that? The Nate Oates, there was a post-game interview, and he talked about, it was like mudrik or something. It's some like African word that means I derive as much joy from my friend doing something than myself. And he's like, that's our like mantra. Like, you saw when Holloway fouled out, when we were making those late buckets, man, he was just going nuts. And it looks sincere, man. That's a team, man. We're watching a team, not like Brandon Miller. I'm not
Right.
dissing him, but
Right.
even Sears,
Yeah.
really, we got that one go-to guy. Now we got 5 go-to guys.
And also, we've already kind of said it in different ways, but we're so tall and long, man. I mean, even Hannah, I thought Hannah looked short out there. He's 6'6". I mean, good grief, man.
Well, and Amari Allen is really long. Amari
Yeah.
Allen can play. He can play. He can play shooting guard. He can play wing at small forward. He can play power forward. I mean, we've just got a lot of. And Williamson, he's a little clunky. He doesn't fit with our up and down style. But I think he plays good half court defense. I think he blocks out well. He uses his body well. He sets screens. So I don't hate it when he's out there, but I don't know. He doesn't seem to be able to catch the ball in the post and score, which I was hoping, you could at least dump the ball down to him and get score.
You try running when you're built like Sean Bradley. He's not that bad. I will say this, John. We were talking about the three amigos. I'm not so sure, and we were like, yeah, they're good, but not good enough to be one and done. I don't know. Amari, man, by the end of the season, he may have options.
Well, you go watch Darren Peterson. You go watch AJ Debanza, and go watch Caleb Wilson at Carolina. Those guys are at a different level than those 3 guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Caleb Wilson, I'm telling you, looks like a more athletic Brandon Miller that can hit all the shots, slash to the basket, block shots. He's crazy. It was
John Tar Heels again.
I'm just telling you that those guys play at a different level.
Gary, I was about to say, man. Had to be a Carolina guy, didn't it, Gary?
I'm just telling you, I don't think those 3 guys can compete with them for being a lottery pick. They're not dominant. Caleb Wilson dominated Kansas and beat up on the number 1 recruit at Kansas. None of those guys are able to take over a game like that. It's different.
Well, bring UNC on, baby. We'll take them.
Let's go.
I'm telling you, we would not get beat by 20 in Chapel Hill by Alabama like Alabama did to us last year. We're legit. It's and again, we're talking Bama hoops.
No,
you can't say we.
This is not the Tar Heel hour.
No, it's not. But I'm just telling you, I don't think those 3 guys. Number one, they're probably not going to get enough playing time to show themselves up for that. And let's face it, Holloway and Phylon are both going to average 20 points a game. They're going to put stats up, so they're gone. Yeah. This is their year. They're going to lead us. They're going to go pro in all likelihood. Those 3 guys are not going to have the opportunity to put up those kind of numbers. And again, I'm going to bring it back to Peterson is leading Kansas. He's going to score 25 points a game. Wilson's going to score 25 points a game. Debance's one and done. He's already made that known. He's leading BYU. Those guys, and there's like 4 or 5 other freshmen. Some people say this may be the deepest freshman class that there's been, since like the mid 80s of guys that are just ridiculously good. And so when you take up 8 to 10 spots with these freshmen that are better than the 3 we have, and then you get the NIL money that they get to come back because they're going to show out. And so we'll have money to pay them to come back next year. And then there's going to be upperclassmen like Phylon, Holloway. And I mean, you can go across the teams that it's going to kind of push them out. And I don't think with the NIL money out there, if you're going to get drafted between, say, 25 and 40 in the draft, don't go. Don't go. Stay another year like Phylon. Phylon made a great decision because he's going to be a top 15 pick. He made it great to our benefit. So that was my point about touting Wilson. And you need to watch him play. He's crazy good.
Okay.
I couldn't believe it. No, he threw down some dunks, guys. It's like, what the heck was that? I mean, I haven't seen that level of athleticism and scoring prowess at Carolina. Seriously, haven't seen that since like Tyler Hansbrough. Just crazy. It was crazy. I mean,
Noah Clowney went, 21?
Yeah.
Kyra Lewis went 13 or 14 or something.
Right.
Maybe this is just a particularly strong year. And I'm not saying Amari's going to get drafted looking at him now. I just you just watch flashes of his ball, man, and it's like he could be.
Oh no, they're going to be good, but I think and this is the great thing about the NIL is most play, and this helps the NBA. The longer these guys can stay in college and show out for a year or two, the more attractive it is when they come to the NBA versus a guy playing 1 year and then he sits on the bench for 3 years in the NBA before they have an impact. And so, I mean, do you guys remember Anthony Edwards playing at Georgia? I don't.
No.
I never saw him play. I mean, most of these guys.
I wasn't that impressed.
I don't, and I mean, he was fantastic. He got drafted 1 in the draft, but so it really benefits the NBA to let these guys play in 2 and 3 years, and you can make so much money now, either through the transfer portal or your team paying up to keep you, that it just adds to the ability for guys to be a more finished product when they go to the NBA. I mean, think about how, because Phylon wasn't scoring like he is now in the mid range. He didn't have that. Hey, Nate, I'm going to shoot this mid range and score. You're not going to say anything about it,
right?
And you know, I'm money. I'm going to drive in here and look at what I mean. Phylon seems. Rick, I said this to you at the North Dakota game. He scored with ease in the first half in that North. I mean, it just looked like he was so relaxed and just boom, there it goes, 2, boom, there's a 3.
But we got a small sample size. I mean, you got the first few games a couple of years ago. J.D. Davidson looked like he was going to be a lottery pick, and he wound up, fading at the end, and so it's hard to say this early.
But even in the Furman game and in the FSU game, Phylon was that good. He's all 4 games. He's 20 points. Boom, 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 boom. And that FSU game, that was some athletic dudes out there. I was impressed with the FSU guys. I think they're going to be a factor in the ACC. But I just think that's part of the upside of this NIL and the transfer portal is guys staying. Now, there's musical chairs. You don't know who your team's going to be year to year. But I think and it's going to benefit the NBA down the road because guys will have a bigger following. I mean, think about how big Phylon will be and how much more interested will be in him going in this year. Let's say he averages 22 points a game this year in his first team All SEC, leads Alabama to the Elite 8 or the Final 4. We're going to have a whole lot more attachment to him than we would have last year when he averaged 11 points a game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And his season last year was like this. It was a roller coaster. He'd score 5 points one game, he'd have 24 the next. He was not consistent, but I'm just amazed at how much better his game is and how much more easily he seems to shoot the ball and score this year. He just seems to really have that consistency.
Well, and a part of that, I think, is he's stronger.
Yeah.
You got to remember how young these guys are. There's a huge difference in 18, 19, 20. I mean, you gain a lot of strength.
And he probably jacked up 10,000 shots this summer too. Just because, I mean, that was the knock.
Big difference in 21 and 52. Wait.
Hey, sun's out, guns out, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, y'all, Alabama went from 15 to number 8, and they already have one person voting for number 1 for them. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to change big time if we win Thursday. There'll be a lot more than one person voting for us for 1. So the interesting thing, and I'm really excited about this Purdue game, is their guards. They have true playmakers, but their guards aren't that athletic. They're really smooth. They're great shooters. You can't leave them open. They'll nail shots. They're fundamentally sound, but they're not hyper athletic. So I think our guys can stay with them this year.
And we need to be nice to their fans because they have the most obnoxious fan. Rick, you went to the Final Four 2 years ago out in Phoenix. I was out there with Lawrence, and man, those Purdue fans were obnoxious. I have a son who goes to Purdue, but man, they need to show some Southern hospitality.
All right, be nice to Aaron, please. Aaron Sincroft, big Purdue fan.
Yeah,
so
right.
be nice to Aaron. So, but it's going to be really fun. The one I wanted to point this out, guys. Once again, did you all see the struggle plays trying to get the ball in bounds?
Yes, and it made me think of you guys. When I'm watching that, I'm like, yep.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Y'all, I'm looking at Purdue's roster, and without having seen them play yet, I just think we're going to be more athletic and faster. Hopefully, the plan is to run them to death, man. See.
Yeah, I don't think those guards are really good. They're really solid, but they're not as athletic. They're not as fast. They're not as quick. And I think we can get them in foul trouble as well. I love the fact, and just some, wrap up this St. John's win, only 7 turnovers. Love that fact. We outscored St. John's from 2s and 3s. The only thing that kept them in the game was the free throw differential. They outscored us by 14 points from the free throw line, and that's the only way they kept it as close as they did. Is they drove the ball hard to the basket, they got fouled. Those 2 big dudes, Hopkins and Ejiofor, were really aggressive, taking the ball to the rim, got us in foul trouble. But I loved it. It was a great game. I was an enjoyable watch. Even when they took the lead by 1, I'm like, we can still do this. I was worried. I'm not gonna lie. I was sweating. I got up and started pacing around. And then I love that we then ran it to a 12-point lead and closed them out. It was so fun.
LeBaron got SEC Player of the Week.
Did he?
Wow.
I think I saw that posted like 2 hours ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to LeBaron. We're a LeBaron podcast too. We're a Thai
Love
podcast.
Yeah.
Love Baron.
Love Baron.
Love Baron.
All right. Anything else, guys, on football or basketball?
Nope.
All right, let's get some big wins. Let's beat Purdue on Thursday. Let's jump up to number 1. Let's close out Oklahoma, eliminate them from the playoffs, clinch our spot in the playoffs on Saturday. All right, thank you for listening. Subscribe, follow, like, hit the notified button wherever you access the podcast. God bless, and roll tide.
Roll Tide.